Me, I'm a record collector. I collect like 60s and 70s vinyl. Obscure stuff mostly from Europe and some American bands, Japanese bands, and South American bands. So I just anything basically. The Zombies is a band I just got into, so I'm listening a lot to them. Scott Walker. I just recently picked records I've been having in my collection for a long time. I just picked up and listened to again. English band called Colosseum. With John Heisman on drums.
Don Airy, didn't he play?
Yeah, he played with the Gary Moore lineup. But they did the first 3 albums they did. It's amazing, amazing records. But I listen to everything, everything from Joni Mitchell, AC/DC, Nick Drake, and Dream Theater, and Tool, and, everything.
Yeah, I find I think the best bands out there are coming from Sweden. And, like whether it be metal bands like Opeth or Meshuggah or Pain of Salvation, or more retro bands like the Flower Kings and Anecdoten and.
You hear Witchcraft?
Yeah, Witchcraft. I was just. Yeah. They remind me of some of the stuff you mentioned listening to.
Yeah.
They sound like right out of 1972.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's pretty, the singer, when we meet up, we just end up talking about obscure whatever. He's also a collector. But they're a pretty cool band.
Yeah, they remind me of Sabbath, like early
Definitely,
Sabbath.
yeah. Pentagram.
What about, have you heard Beardfish from Sweden?
No. What's that?
They're kind of like Witchcraft in terms of like they sound like right from the 70s, but they are more like prog, like King Crimson or Genesis. Yes.
Never heard of them.
They're cool. Yeah, not much of a metal edge to them at all, but they're really retro and cool.
Have you heard Pathos?
Oh yeah, that Steven Wilson mixed their last album.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite bands. They had a band called Landberg before, which was also a good band. Anecdoten is a good band.
Yeah, Anecdoten is great. I've been listening to them for 15 years.
Yeah, we share a rehearsal room with them.
Really?
They have all their nice mellotrons.
Oh, I love their mellotron sounds.
Yeah. So our keyboard players together with their keyboard player.
And she's also the bass player, right? Or
she plays cello, I think.
Cello.
Yeah, and keyboards, whatever. But that's a good band.
That's all out of Sweden. Sweden, what do you get? You guys got something in the water, man.
I don't know. I think we have a lot of bands, and I guess we always had a strong music scene. I guess like whatever international bands, as they were touring, they always came by Sweden and play. Like Beatles in the early '60s, and everybody always went to play there. So, and it's it's a good country for music, I guess.
So I mean, up until the last 10 years, though, the only bands I knew from Sweden were, and of course you're going to probably know who I'm going to say, ABBA and Yngwie.
Yeah. Roxette.
I don't even know Roxette.
Really?
No.
Listen to your heart.
I don't know.
It's like a Pretty Woman soundtrack.
So, does Sweden embrace, or are they ashamed of ABBA and Yngwie?
No, we're not. I think the ABBA, they're geniuses, I think. Really good pop songs. And Yngwie, I love them. I'm a big fan of Yngwie.
I saw him when he played with Alcatraz. I guess it was
really?
his first American tour. And actually, the show I saw in New York, I think, might have been his last show with Alcatraz. But I was already listening to Steeler, and then when the first Rising...
That's with Ron Keel?
Yeah, Ron Keel.
That's right.
And then when he put out the first Rising Force album, I went and saw that tour many times, and was a big fan. Yeah.
I just loved the first 3 or 4 records up to the Joe Lynn Turner album. I really liked it. But yeah, that's the big Europe. You probably know Europe, the band, Final Countdown, that kind of stuff. They're pretty big, but now I don't. Those kind of really big bands out of Sweden. We don't really have any. The people are while in Sweden, if you read the newspaper, it's portrayed like the Hives are like massive, like ABBA used to be or whatever. But that's not really true, But they're probably our biggest band. Jose Gonzalez, which is a kind of singer-songwriter, is doing well. Soundtrack of Our Lives and stuff like that. And then we have loads of metal bands. And I think metal is probably the biggest kind of music export. in Sweden, but none of the bands are big as we're in the
Right.
papers or whatever.
Meshuggah?
Yeah, they're still,
Yeah, they're doing good.
there's, I don't think that their status is like they're really big, but they're kind of, everybody knows them, and everybody respects them because there's not a band out there like them,
Well, now there's a lot that want to be like them,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
they were the pioneers.
Yeah, definitely. But they're cool people, and certainly a very good band. We played with them a couple of times. And quite intimidating to follow.
Yeah, they are brutal.
Yeah, but we have plenty. English still going.